So I'm walking around the Ancient Agora in Athens, which was the central space of public life. They had a market, they had political discussions here, they had some religious sites here. The most well-preserved site here is the Temple of Hephaestus. Hephaestus was the patron god of metalworking, craftsmanship, and fire. There were a bunch of other ruins, but I didn't have a tour guide and I don't know much about the history, so they weren't really that impressive to me. The Agora also had a museum with artifacts and a number of statues around. I do find the artifacts and statues pretty cool. It's important that I tell you the Ancient Agora of Athens is different from the Acropolis in Athens. The Acropolis is the main site in Athens that has the Parthenon and a number of other old buildings. There's also the Acropolis Museum, which has thousands of artifacts from ancient Greece. I only filmed my time at the Agora, but the Acropolis and Acropolis Museum are definitely the top sites in Athens. My time in Athens was honestly just okay. If you want to see more of what I enjoyed in Greece, stick around till later in the video when I show you some of the Greek islands I went to. I learned a lot about Greek history while I was on the mainland, but I just had more fun on the islands. Anyway, back to Athens. Today I bought my first Greek gyro, and it was relatively cheap, like less than 4 euros for this thing. I also got a salad. This was cucumber and tomato salad. It looks big and delicious. This is the small version. First I want to have the gyro though. Okay, that looks good. We have French fries, some big juicy tomatoes, onions. I got some pork meat, and then there's the white sauce. Time for the first bite. I'm going for a meaty section there. Yeah, that reminds me of the gyros I eat in the United States. I feel like the seasoning, or however they cook the meat, is the same. The pita here is thicker than I'm used to, which is good. It feels like it might be more freshly made. I'm gonna get a bite with those French fries and onion right there, and I'm gonna try to get some tomato. That tomato makes it good. It's fresh. The French fries are not super like French fries. They're not crunchy, they're more potato-y, like maybe they're intended more to be potato instead of French fry. I don't know if it's American for me to want to eat gyros every day, but I could eat this every day. Here in Greece, it's so good. I won't, but I could. Okay, I'm only halfway through the gyro, but I want to try the salad. So it seems like there's some type of green pepper at the very top, and then it has some type of seasoning on the top as well. And then there's onion, there's a lot of cucumber, and then at the bottom I see tomato. You're probably not going to see that. Here's an olive, and that might be it. There's some dressing, I'm not sure what it is. And there are a lot of vegetables on here. It's thick too, it's not lettuce. I don't really need to explain how the salad tasted because you can guess from the ingredients, but I was happy with it. The gyro and the salad filled me up, so I went out on a walk after eating. The streets around my Airbnb are pretty nice. I'm just southwest of the Acropolis, and it's relatively quiet and a very safe neighborhood. Mostly there are old buildings, there are a lot of cars packed very tightly, and there are a bunch of shops. Finally, there are a lot of walking paths. So when you look at the map, there's these little streets. They're not streets, but they're lines that are thinner than streets. And those are all walking paths for people to get through, but cars can't. Here we have one of our friends. There are cats all over. They're kind of afraid of people sometimes, so I'm not gonna approach it, but there are cats everywhere. I've seen like 30 since I've been here. After Athens, I took a ferry to the Greek island of Milos. I specifically wanted to go to Milos to visit one place, Sarakiniko Beach. It's called a beach, but it's more like a rock formation next to the water. According to Wikipedia, the beach consists of volcanic rock that's been eroded by the wind and the waves. To be honest, I was getting a little tired of Greece at this point. The food was good, but I felt like I was just being ferried with large groups of people between tourist sites, and that's not super fun for me. Finally, when I got to this beach, I got the chance to explore, and then I found the place where people were cliff jumping. You could jump at any height. I did 2 jumps from this area, which was about 15 feet to the water. Some people were jumping off the highest point. That was way too scary for me. After my time at this beach, I felt refreshed and I was excited to be in Greece. My next location was the main event, Santorini. Santorini is the most popular island in Greece. It's known for its beautiful architecture with white buildings and blue domes. It has winding streets and it has beautiful views of this cliff that leads into the ocean. Santorini is actually one island of a caldera, which is the remnants of a giant volcano eruption. So the center portion with all the water is actually the center of the volcano, I think. Many people complain that Santorini is overrun with tourists. My main goal in Santorini was to complete this hike from Fira to Oia, a 2.5-hour hike. So I was hoping to get away from the crowds and to be able to enjoy the scenery by myself. I just started the hike. I was gonna do it tomorrow morning. I decided to do the hike at nighttime so that I'm walking as the sun is going down. Hopefully I'll be at the end when the sun sets. So far the views are just amazing. I'm gonna be walking over to there. I'm about an hour into my walk. It's pretty windy tonight, which actually feels amazing. There's a church at the top of one of these mountains. Now this would be a nice place to go to church. Look at this resort, it's incredible. Here's yet again another church. They know how to do churches here. So I just hiked 2 hours from my hotel to the edge of Oia, and now I'm a little tempted to hike back. I think it was about 5 miles. I just think like as the sun is setting and it gets to that like dark but still light phase, I think it'd be really cool to be out here on this path. And then I also think by the time I get back, it'll be dark. So I'll be able to walk through the narrow streets and see how they're lit up at nighttime. So there's 2 choices. Finish the hike, which would take about 30 more minutes, and then watch the sunset on the end of the island, or head back and experience the hike again, but as night is falling. If you know me, it should be no surprise that I chose more hiking. I'm gonna miss the Oia sunset, which is apparently really awesome, but I might get a good view of the sunset. I don't need sunglasses anymore, so I could see the views in their true colors. The views on the way back were pretty much the same, but there was a different atmosphere as it got darker and the lights started to turn on in the cities. I'm approaching the end of the nature hiking portion, and my hair is crazy this whole video. There's no avoiding it. If you think the scenery is beautiful during the day, it's even more beautiful at nighttime. Like, how is this real? I made it back after 9 miles of hiking, over 4 hours. My shoes are really dirty, I'm very sweaty, but I think that will be my favorite thing I've done in Greece. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment, and maybe subscribe, although I don't know how many more videos I'll make.